Today I'm just gonna be backtesting for you guys. Uh, yeah, right here. If you want to follow along, I used to do that a lot. I used to watch like recaps or Ronin's videos of him backtesting and shit like that. Eventually, I will get into that. But for right now, I'm going to backtest my own data. That's why it's called Just Me. Then there's like August Ronin, shit like that. But for right now, today's backtesting video is just gonna be off of my own data collection. Now, I think this is really important because you might. It just takes longer if you backtest completely by yourself. Due to how like you might be just practicing bad habits, and it's gonna take you longer to break them. And the only way to break them is just to journal effectively and learning what you're doing wrong, which you should be doing already. However, if you simply like just follow along and backtest for yourself, then look at the same date that Ronan backtested, and then watch him do it, you can see the discrepancies between you guys, his thought process, your mistakes, and shit like that. So, just some sauce right there. Okay, let's get started though. I'm gonna just try and backtest like a whole um, let's see. Yeah, go to New York session. Okay. Um, Powell. Powell speaks at 9. So we already got data highs and data lows right here. That I will be marking out. Right? Data low, data high. Okay. So analyzing the time frame on the weekly. We're just really bearish. A little overextended, but we're probably just gonna go to these lower draws right here. What the fuck? Okay. Going on the daily. What have we done? Shit, I forgot. Lola Su. And I will also be journaling these trades at the end and telling you guys what my some keynotes for these trades and such. Alright, so at the daily, it seems that we did sweep this low right here. Yep. Some low SMT right here then. So we're currently accumulating, tapping into this daily gap. We are SMTing right here. Looks like we already SMT'd all these targets, all these buy side targets, and tapped into high time frame. Silly. So I really see no reason why we should get these highs as we're waking and reacting off of the CE on ES. Just probably gonna catch these lows, sweep out all this accumulation over here, and to get these draws. 4 hour, what is the 4 hour doing? Overall, just damn, kind of overextended. Sorry. Yeah, we're working this high resistance. Yeah, I'm honestly pretty bearish, super bearish. But we'll see. Right? You never really know. Okay. I want price to whatever. Oh, we're already in this gap. We're probably gonna have to get a continuation short. I also want to mark EQ. We still haven't gotten this inefficiency, but just in case we end up respecting it, we want to be aware of it. But we're just bouncing between PD rays. But something to note is that not only is the higher time frame trend completely bearish, We're also like bouncing between these two PD arrays. Well, not bouncing off of the bearish one. We're respecting the CE of this sell side imbalance, distributing off pretty comfortably by time frame. And what are we doing here? We're kind of just like being unable to distribute and respect this gap, which leads me to have even more of a bearish bias. But yeah, we'll see. Going into market open, what's happening? Okay, so what is market open? What do we do? Hey, we're just ripping. Man, respecting this 4 hour, I guess. Huh. Yeah. So what's happening? Wow. We're just going crazy. So now we tap into the imbalance on the, on NQ. Oh no, wait, this is the other one. Yeah. And let's see what happens. Oh, we're reacting off of it. Whoa. What time is it? Okay, what's the highest time frame inversion here? Just to be aware, right? Okay. And it's 9:40 and 36. In 4 minutes it would turn into a... Sadly, this is the highest time frame inversion unless we get a little... Oh, would you look at that? Hold up. There's a little 30-second right here, actually. Okay. We actually closed through this gap pretty comfortably on the 30-second. Honestly, I mean, I guess you could take this. I'm gonna take it. Fuck, for the shits and giggles. What am I targeting? The 5 minute hasn't been formed. Targeting data lows in this LR. What time is it? It's 9:39, 9:45. I think this is the 9:30 manipulation, so and it should deliver pretty nicely. Place order. Yep. Let's see. Okay, so the 5 minute just got formed. I think this is a break even, cause 5 minute got formed and it looks like we were just respecting it. And on the lower time frames, it seems to me that we are simply just okay. So, what are we doing? Honestly, this is why I don't really like taking 30 seconds on XFAs, because they're just kind of confusing. Target their validity. But just in case, I'm gonna just put my stop loss at break even. Yep. Okay. Oh wow. Should you look at that? Okay. Cool. So what was the biggest time? Okay, so 950, 945 does deliver us to our targets. So my bias and trade idea was correct. Everything was good. I was just a little bit of a bitch for not holding and going break even early. That was not a valid break even, as the 5 minute hadn't even formed. Should have just taken it. Yeah, that was some pussy shit, not gonna lie. That's a little mistake, but I mean, I'm practicing with 30 seconds here. Yeah, biggest right here. So it's created at 950. It's 940s. 50. I don't think we inverse that. No, we are respecting that. So what happens now? What are we getting? Whoa, hold on. Okay, so we get a little continuation along right here. So why would we be bullish? And what is our draw? I mean, I guess we still have these highs on NQ, and currently after I guess we are. So I was originally bearish, right? But after us respecting the CE and actually distributing pretty high, considering we SMT'd these lows, it might just mean that this is like, we're not gonna go to these lows and sweep these targets, I guess. I think this is just like a market maker, an example of a market maker buy model, and we're just gonna keep like rallying higher and get these highs on NQ. Although the SMT is pretty significant, we're not really delivering that much lower. So, I mean, and we're respecting that. The close is not that good. I think I want to wait for a little better close. Yeah, that shit's ass. Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's just see what market tells us right now. Okay, that's what it says. We take the internal high. Is there a bigger gap in this time frame? No gaps. This is pretty invalid as... there's an SMT. I see. We technically don't take the internal high on ES, so I mean, it could still be valid, and it is 953. Could take this engineered liquidity. And what are our targets? Just, yeah, I mean, I could take this. Why? Stop loss, respected 5 minute. It is already mitigated, which would be my reasoning not to take on XFA. This is more of an eval trade. It's an already used FEG. Fuck, I don't like this. We edge this 15 minute. I hate that, actually. I didn't notice. Oh, wait, it's SMT'd. Oh, shit, this shit is actually valid as fuck. I didn't notice we tapped into a 15 minute. This is heat. Oh, wait, this is so good. I'm taking this. Okay, so stop loss. Super protected by the 15. High time frame. Probably going to get this engineered draw plus these draws on NQ, because the SMT isn't really that relevant as we're not really reacting that much off of it. We SMT'd this imbalance. Right? So we're not overextended anymore. We respect the CE of that FEG. This is now high resistance down here. We're not really like, we don't have any conviction towards these lows anymore, because we are just respecting EQ of the range, inefficiencies, and CE in that inefficiency, in which we are just reacting off of it and closing above the actual gap. We get that manipulation towards a new FVG, so it's a completely unmitigated FVG. So that already, I like it for a XFA trade, and we get an SMT at the lows. However, there is no, the FVG is whack. It's whack. We edge this, and then we just get like new manipulation, a stop hunt, and we don't even get a gap out of it. Unless there's a 30-second gap right here. No, there's not even one, but yeah, this is like kind of invalid. But I mean, technically on ES, it's not that, like, we have all this engineered. The time to close, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like it. I don't think I'd take on XFA just because of the time to close and its invalidness on, like, because on NQ we took that internal high, so making it kind of like invalid inversion. But here we don't take the internal high. and we get a valid inversion. But the time to close is just really bad. So I'd take it on eval, not on XFA. But I'm still going to put the position in. And the RR is bonds, actually. Oh, it's bad. It's terrible. What are we even targeting here? Yeah, this is pretty bonds. Is there anything else? No, it's just that little bit of liquidity that was engineered. Alright, I'll take it just for the shits and giggles, but this is very much an eval trade. Okay. Let's go. And now it's about to hit 10 a.m. This is bad. So what's happening higher time frame wise? What are we respecting? Just higher, lower time frame gaps. Okay, random. 10 a.m. kind of just continues. We take this internal high right here. I'd go break even right now, as that is a. So my last break even was kind of invalid because I was putting it, assuming that like the 5 minute was already formed, even though I acknowledged that it wasn't already formed. It was more of a pussy break even. But I should have just held for the win, right? But it was more of an invalid break even because we had no reason for price to reverse off of the point that in which I did. But here, since the targets aren't bonds, it's good engineered liquidity. However, since the RR is bad, it makes this target just not be that good, right? So this is an obvious point of rejection right here for me. So this is a super valid break even. But I don't want to jinx it. Oh my god, I'm gonna jinx it. Wow, that's actually fucking tragic. That is tragic. Is it because we kind of SMT'd that shit? The RR. Oh no, we're cooked. What time is it? At 10:30 to deliver. Wow, that hurts. That is so hilarious. Super valid trade. But yeah, just unfortunate. We actually just get cooked on the shorts right here. But yeah, even though high time frame wise, like if we skip hours, we might be bearish on the day or whatever. Oh no, we're actually bullish. Even though like this might flip, right? Whatever. I don't really care, since if we can match a high time frame assumption with what price is telling us right now, that's the most important thing. So what I mean by that is if our whole trade idea were to just flip completely, even though we were good, that's okay, because we were focused on what price was doing here. What was price doing? We were getting true manipulation towards those 15 minutes below, respecting it, right? Respecting high time frame bullish conviction. So that's what we care about in the moment. So with all those possibilities aligned, and with all those concepts and confluences aligned, it could give us a whole valid trade, which it almost did. Not completely valid, but yep, just sad. I should have actually tried to shave off as much RR as I could. Maybe here would have gotten it. Yeah, I would have. Ooh, that's tragic. I should have, in situations like this where the RR is really buns, in a real life scenario, I would be using any excuse to actually shave off as much RR as I could. So I'd probably get into like using the CE, etc. But here, since it's a back test, like I didn't really care that much. But yeah, I would probably put my stop loss around that bottom part of that CE, consequential enroachment, and then aim for that 1-to-1. After that swing high, which is my main engine target, I think it's a 930 high, but yeah, and I would have gotten the RR that I needed. So yeah, valid. Do we even sweep this? Do you know? Let's see. Yeah, we don't. I don't think so. Okay, so let's go to the net. Actually, how long have I been recording? 20 minutes? Yeah, I'm gonna stop right here. Yep. I'm gonna stop it at right there. I could only get when I get quicker backtesting. It's because I really want to. I think I might do what Ronan does, which is just look for the setups and then focus on the narrative aspect and whether and its validness. Whereas here, um, I took you through my thought process, my step by step kind of thing, and then I looked for entries, which does take longer. But I kind of just that's how I've always done it. But maybe in the future I will do it like Ronan, where he's just going through setups and then rating them when it actually does present itself. But I wanted to take you on more of a realistic type of scenario what I go through on life, which is essentially um, I form my assumptions set and I grade them as I go as it's forming, and I don't marry a bias. As you can see, I was jumping all over the place, but yeah, as long as you can just adapt to what market is currently telling you, that's all that really matters. And yeah, just focus on what's being respected and disrespected at the moment. That you'll have that much of an issue when you narrow it down to just that, and then you get more complex as you go. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas, any specific dates you want me to backtest, or anything like that, just leave it down in the comments. And yeah, later. Alright, what's up, everybody? This is gonna be the next section of every backtest slash recap. It's just essentially me going over in hindsight with everything that happened. So in today's live back test, I honestly underperformed. But I'm gonna always keep it real with you guys and not bullshit. So what happened? With the first trade, super valid trade, honestly, because the leg that was present in the 30 second was only in the 30 second. So in mechanicals, it was valid. However, the break even was fucking dog shit, and it was more emotional than anything. Why did I put that break even there? I honestly just didn't want to take a loss on YouTube. But that shouldn't really affect me because I know I got it and I got the results. And proof that I got it like that, statistical, money, etc. Right? Um, but it was more so the fact that um, I wouldn't be listened to. But to fix that, I mean, first of all, I should just not give a fuck because I know that I know what I know. Second of all, I'm gonna be lose or win. I'm gonna be showing you how the trade would have won and why the trade won or lost, because there's always a reasoning, right? Um, and I wanna clarify that with you guys because you always are putting risk on the table and you are always accepting the fact that it's not a 100% chance you're gonna win. However, you're stacking as many odds and confluences that you can to better your odds the maximum possible. To hypothetically and hopefully you are taking A plus setups on a regular basis, which is what I do with my XFAs, and why that first trade, or I mean that second trade, I wouldn't have taken on an eval because I think it's like a B plus in my opinion. Everything narrative correct, everything is super valid. However, the RR is kind of buns. And second of all, what was I gonna say? The time to close was absolutely fucking horrid, and we took the internal high on NQ but not on ES, so I don't know. B minus, but I was very firm and clear that I would have taken it on the eval because of those reasonings, and yes, I could have shaved the RR a little more. In like reality, I would have obviously, but I just didn't really care that much, and that's also something I want to clarify. I should be caring more on backtest. It's just kind of hard to be fully locked in on backtesting since it's just backtesting. But as the more realistic you treat it, and I used to treat it super, super, super realistically. Every day that I would backtest would take me like an hour. It was something absurd. But I really, really do recommend you do that. However, it's just kind of hard for me to um, kind of like be so immersive in it since I don't really like care about it as much. Um, but yeah, I still try to get at least like a little bit of back testing every day. But yeah, you should definitely care about it if you are struggling. But yeah, that's just kind of how I treat it for right now. Maybe I'll take it more serious, probably. But yeah, win or loss, just chill and treat more seriously, right? That's what I gotta improve on. And win or loss, just review why it could have lost or won. Because even on the most A plus setups, I mean, I have statistical losses. Everyone has statistical losses, but you gotta be upfront and honest. Was it a statistical loss, or are you just coping? So that first loss, or that first break even, is cope. There is no reason why price should have reversed off of that area, because even though yes, we are in a 5 minute buy side imbalance, it hadn't formed till after the time of entry, which therefore makes the break even invalid. I just did it. Um, it was more of a rule break, a shitty little rule break. But yeah, I should have held that to full TP. On the second trade, everything was perfect. Honestly, not bad. But honestly, I want to be more strict and more taking more serious to actually practice with the 30 second. So yeah, I'm gonna, and my bias slash narrative. Yeah, while you might think it's a little jumpy, I'm just always very very open to. I don't marry a bias. I might lean a certain way, but depending on what conditions get met or that I make and get respected or disrespected, is where I'm leaning more towards reactively, you know? So while I might have started bearish because of high time frame significance, I ultimately switched bullish just because of what we were respecting slash disrespecting at areas and their reaction off and displacement off of those areas. What we're rejecting, what we're tapping into, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, overall, pretty good. I think everybody should like just take into what you should learn from this video is the way I go for narrative slash bias and my mistakes on break even. Something super important. I know some people take like 8 break evens a month. I barely even take break evens. So yeah, practice on not just spamming your break even on any random swing high, but actually having that break even in a point of significance and possible reversal. So yeah, guys, later.